We now come to the second grouping of elder characteristics that we're giving the title of integrity. 6 of these characteristics are this: above reproach. A man needs to be of good reputation, respectable, devout, upright, and being an example. Of course, these are all subjective things, but these 6 items seem to have some commonality, and they have to do with the man's overall wholeness of character. Notice that both in 1 Timothy chapter 3 and Titus chapter 1, their respective lists begin with the qualification that a man must be above reproach. In Timothy's list, it also ends with a similar sentiment: he must have a good reputation with those outside of the church. People will not easily follow or be ministered to by men who fail in this area. The elders in one local church came face to face with this kind of an issue. They were considering a man for becoming an elder, and they interviewed him and they began to train him. They felt that he measured up quite well to the characteristics, and as the time of training came to an end, they put it out to the congregation for their feedback, and in particular, they asked him about his suitability for becoming an elder, particularly in the area of his qualifications. Well, the congregation gave their feedback, and what was of interest is one of the elders happened to be talking to a friend of his in another church, and the friend said that he knew the boss of the man that was being considered as an elder, and the boss, who wasn't a Christian, had heard that the man was being considered for church leadership, and he was quite concerned about that because of a few incidents that happened on the job. And as the boss of the prospective elder related to this other party, there was a number of occasions where the man called in sick to work, and the second time it happened, the boss happened to be driving around and passed his house and noticed the man was out working on his yard, quite strenuous type of work. And so the question of his integrity was called into question, and clearly at this point the man was not above reproach. The elders were face to face with an issue now that they had to investigate, because you see the qualification of being above reproach, and in all of these, a man's reputation, it becomes closely tied with the reputation of the church if he's representing the church as an elder. So the issue of integrity is one that we cannot go light on. It has to do with being above reproach, having a good reputation, being respectable, devout, and upright. These are things that can outwardly be observed, but they must be present so that an elder can be a consistent example of integrity to the local body of believers. So let me encourage you to study this lesson well. It's a very essential one, that a man be a man of integrity.